Hey, it's Brett with Recording Crave. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I greatly appreciate it. Hey, in this video, I want to talk to you today about recording electric guitar and layering electric guitar tracks to get more depth in your guitar sound and also add more dimension and weight to your guitar track. Let's jump into this. What we're going to do is we're going to mic up this Marshall back here. It's actually already mic'd up because I already recorded this previously, but let's go over the miking setup and then we will go through some of the mixing and show you what I'm talking about, adding more weight to your guitar sound. So let's jump into this right now. So here we have my Marshall JCM800 from the mid-early 80s, and we're going to mic that up with the two mics. We're going to use the SM57 from Shure, and we're going to use this other mic here. It's a Sterling ST170. It's a ribbon mic, and the old tried and true 57. Now I have a trusty flashlight to show us where the speaker cone is on here. I don't know if you can see it on the video. Yeah, you can a little bit. So what I like to do, this is just a personal preference, a personal taste. I just like to get it off to the left or right of the center cone, right there. Now I'm going to take the ribbon mic and I'm going to put that up right next to it. Now for the ribbon mic, I am looking for a little darker sound than I will be on the 57. So I'm going to go to the left of that center part of the cone. Now I'm going to grab a tape measure to measure the distance from the ribbon mic to the grill cloth and the 57 to the grill cloth. Let me grab that. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I don't want any phase issues. Now I can, if it's really close and it's still slightly out of phase, I can flip the phase over in the DAW, but I like to try to get it right at the amp. To the edge of the 57 is 1 inch, but the microphone sits in slightly farther than that. So we'll go 1.25 inches. Right now we're at 2 inches for that. We're going to move this a little closer. That should work right there. Now let's grab a guitar and we'll test it out to make sure we're all good for the sound and the tone we want. The first guitar I'm going to be recording and tracking with is this Gibson Les Paul Classic. So what I'm doing is adding more guitar parts, not for the sake of adding more parts, but I want to alter the tone a little bit of the guitar that's already on the chorus. So I want to complement the sound that's there. The sound that's there is a little bit brighter, but I want to add a little more bottom to the sound. So the guitars that I'm using both have humbuckers in them, so that'll give me a little bit darker sound than a single coil. And what I'm trying to do is add some depth to the guitar sound that's already there. So let's continue on. Okay, so what we're going to do now is make sure we have the sound we want, and I think it's going to work pretty good. I like the sound, what I'm hearing in the headphones. So let's hit record and see what happens. Makes me realize that hope will never die, and it's okay to cry, 'cause you're standing by my side. I'm standing here, shouting from the rooftops. I want it everything I've got. want to add, when I was playing those guitar parts, you could hear when I was bending those strings, it was slightly going out of tune on a lot of that bending. And at first, when I first came up with that guitar part, it was driving me crazy. But as I layered the sounds together, it actually almost comes off like a chorus effect on the guitars if you listen to them all together. And by themselves, yeah, it wouldn't fly. And I tried to play them exactly in tune without bending the strings or anything like that, but then it got really sterile sounding. So I liked the bending. I liked the sliding into it's two notes basically. I like those slidings into those two notes on each different chord there. So, and when I was just playing them too perfect, it sounded sterile. Didn't have the energy it has when it's slightly out of tune. But again, you kind of get the doubling effect when you start layering the guitar tracks on there. So I just wanted to add that. Let's take a quick listen to the guitar tracks we just recorded. Here is the trim plugins that I have on here. This will give me more volume or gain. It also lets me check phase. So let's take a listen to make sure that we are in phase. You can really hear the out of phase there. There's the 57. And there's the ribbon. Both mics work really well together. Now let's go listen to the Strat, and let's listen to it straight up. Those are in phase too. So it pays to just take, it literally takes like 1 minute or less to measure your microphones to make sure that you're in phase. You can flip the phase like with the button there, but it's nice to start in phase. Here's what I'm going to do with these guitars. So with the Gibson, I'm going to pan both mics to the left. And then with the Strat, I'm going to pan both mics on the guitar to the right. Because I want those mics to, basically, I'm using the tone of both mics to be one sound. So I'm panning one sound to the right, one sound to the left. So now, let's pull these down, and then I'm going to bring them into the mix as it's playing. I'm standing here, shouting from the rooftops. I want it all, and I will never stop loving you with everything I've got. I'm falling hard. You can hear when I bypassed these new guitar tracks how we lost the bottom out of there. Let's listen to that again. Let's take these other guitar tracks out. Each of those guitars complement each other. So the original recorded guitars, very top end driven. The other guitars, a little bit darker sounding. You can tell when they're gone. So it gives us the low end and the top end, and it gives us a fuller sounding track. Now, I haven't even put EQ on these guitars at all, and I don't even have them running through the guitar bus at all. So they're not even being impacted by the processing on these original chorus guitars. So if we want to alter the tone a little bit more, we can and go down that road. But let's take another quick listen. And what I think I'm going to do is push up the ribbon mic a little more just to get a little more darkness on that sound. So I'm going to pull these back just a hair and then try this. So when I muted the original guitar tracks with the whole mix going, you could still hear the new guitars we recorded, but they're much less present. I really like what these additional guitars are doing. If you go watch the Kelly Clarkson mix session breakdown that I have, the video I have, I'll post a link somewhere in here. They do this on their guitars. They have a guitar sound that is a bit higher in the frequency range, and then they have some guitars in the lower frequency range, and even a different distortion sound. And take a listen to that. That's on the Kelly Clarkson mix session breakdown. Hopefully this is helpful. Maybe you do that already with your mixes. This is something I wanted to try for this, to fill it out a bit more, make it a little bit bigger and give it some more weight on the chorus. Let me know what you've done to enhance your guitar sound on some of your mixes. Thank you so much. We will see you in the next video.